Imagine You Got Us, making a deck profile here at Yeti Gaming, and today I'm showing you a Force of Will deck, Machina the Machine Lord. So what Machina does is he J activates for 4. You can pay X once per turn, that's my turn and your opponent's turn. Search your main deck for an addition or a resonator with no attribute, or colorless as we call it in Magic, and put it in your hand. Then on his other side, when you flip him for 4, when he enters the field, you get to put 3 additions or resonators with no attribute onto your field when he enters. His God's Art costs 3, and he makes resonators with no attribute indestructible for the turn. That means they can't be destroyed. His usefulness is really based on his flipping and getting his enter ability. Let me show you what the deck looks like and you'll get an idea. First, I run 10 Windstones. Okay? You only need to run 10 Windstones, because you don't need anything special, because this is a straight ramp deck. And you'll see what makes it work here in a second. For 1-drops, I run 4 copies of Elvish Priest. He taps to produce green. And I run 4 copies of Clockwork Soldier. He's a 3/3 with target attack. And you can pay 1 to give him +1/+0 until end of turn. And if you do, banish him. That gives him the ability to pump for power if it's necessary. Also, on the non-resonator side, for 1-drops, I run 4 copies of Special Armor. It is an addition resonator. The added resonator would be destroyed. Instead, destroy this card, and if you do, remove all damage from the added resonator. So it keeps 1 resonator alive through damage or kill spells. And that's the 1-drops. 2-drops, I run 4 copies of Winding Mender, which I call Mecha Penguin. Mecha Penguin taps to give +2/+2 to a target machine until end of turn. He's a 4/4 for 2. I also run 4 Clockwork Scout Planes. They are 5/5 flyings for 2. And I run 4 copies of Gretel. Gretel is 1 and a green, 2/2. Flip top card of your stone deck when she enters, and if it's a Windstone, put it onto the field. So she reigns, and everything else is built around the machining thing. 3-drops in this deck. We have 4 copies of Power Supply Train. It is a 5/5 for 3, and you can banish this card to recover target resonator. That is sort of the bread and butter of the deck. I'll explain in a little bit. I run 3 Charging Assaulter. He must attack if able. He's a 7/7. As you choose to attack, he has to be the first card you choose if able. And then whenever he is blocked, he gets +2/+0 until end of turn, making him a 9/7, which is very useful. Finally, in 4-drop, I run 4 copies of Imitation Dragon. It's 1,000 flying, and whenever he is dealt damage, destroy it. So if your opponent targets 1 thunder or just 200 damage or something, it'll be destroyed. But it is 1,000 flying, so if they don't have red control, they can't do a lot. Finally, I run 4 copies of March of the Machine Lord. It is a 5-cost card, spell chant, that you may pay 1 less to play it for each resonator with no attribute you control. So if you control 5 colorless machines, it costs 0. And it gives resonators you control with no attribute gain +3/+3 and swiftness until end of turn. Okay? This card is what makes this deck function in the way that it works. So, just to show what you're hoping to happen, you are playing the Machine Lord, and the first couple turns you're playing ramp or searching for cheap resonators and playing cheap machines. Once you get to 4, you hope to flip him. You've already got a couple of low-cost resonators on board, or so you hope. And then you play an Imitation Dragon, a couple of powertrains with Machina's ability, and then you have hopefully 1 to 4 marches in your hand. And then you play March, give everything +3/+3, play March again, hopefully give everything +3/+3. But the point is that you can attack with everything, and then if you still need some extra oomph to finish it, you can banish Powertrain to untap Imitation Dragon and swing again, and then do it again, and you just hit for obscene amount of damage. The turn he flips is usually the turn that you win. Okay? It is a heavy rush, it's heavy kill, and the special armors are in there to protect the dragon. But in general, the deck wins on turn 4 or 5. And you take a lot of heat from your opponent. You go ahead and let damage through, because their damage doesn't matter much to you. But you want to make sure that you have at least 2 to 3 machines on board before you flip Machina to finish the game. And if that means that you got to wait until you have 7 mana, then you wait till you have 7 mana. And in some ways that's better, because it means that you can use the God's Art should they try to destroy anything. So that's kind of the way the deck is built. I hope that you guys give this deck a shot. It's really fun to play. It does lose rather heavily to red control, but there's not much we can do about that. So I suggest you try it, play it. If you figure out a way to deal with red control, by all means let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe. This is Diesel. I appreciate your time. Have a good day.